Do you read me?
Be advised, you are coming in weak and unreadable.
Say again, Com Tower. This is Pacho. Do you read me?
Pacho, this is Com Tower. I read you Lima Charlie.
Com Tower. Request permission to launch and commence the field op. Over.
Stand by. Pacho, permission granted. I say again, permission granted.
Roger that. Launching podcast in 3, 2. You are now entering the field op with your host, Pacho Correa, Chief Warrant Officer 3, United States Marine Corps retired. Get some. Hurrah! Get some. Hurrah! What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year. New year, new beginnings. What kind of New Year's resolutions are you not gonna keep up and break somewhere down the road? Well, that's kind of facetious. we got a really good show for you today. So before we get started, let's get all the pleasantries out of the way. Hey, if you happen to be in a bookkeeper, CPA, solopreneur, by yourself, or a nurse or a teacher, or just rather anybody that's concerned with the market and how the interest rates for the last couple of years have not been the best. People find themselves struggling, at the end of the month to pay the bills or whatever the case. Well, give the Money Pro a call. Get with them when what they can do is they can show you some very specific strategies and techniques that you can start implementing right away, so you can stop the bleeding. Stop the bleeding if you're dipping into your savings accounts, or maybe this is a new year and you want to start saving money and actually for retirement or putting money away for whatever special event you got coming. Well, they can help you with that. Or if you just happen to be needing an extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 extra a month, that you can devote a couple of hours a week to learn a new, really cool skill set, get licensed on it at no cost to you, without changing anything that you're currently doing. Well, very easy. Just go. It's all right there on the show description. Is go to meetthemoneypro.com and where it says meet with me. There's a Calendly link, and get on there. And again, at no cost to you, no pressure, no commitment. At the end of the day, you may end up getting some really cool tips and techniques that can help you not only with your finances, but also that you can start implementing right away. Also, hey, it's a new year. I'm very curious about what a lot of things that are coming down the pipeline. Obviously, we got a new office, a new political office taking over. Up in the White House. So just curious how the political market is going to be and how it impacts us as veterans. So if you have not taken part of and taken advantage of putting your VA claim at all, now is the time to do it. I say this every show, but if you need help, by all means, you can feel free to reach out. I can plug you in if I can't help you, I can definitely plug you in with folks that can. But at the end of the day, whether you serve 4 years, 8, 3, 4, 5 enlists, doesn't really matter. You rose your right hand in the name of freedom, Godspeed the core, and all that good stuff. So you earn those benefits. So if you feel like you didn't earn them and it's for somebody else, you're not helping yourself or your family, because at the end of the day, every percentage has some monetary compensation attached to it, which I'm sure that you can use to put away for your kids' college, put away for your own retirement, many other things. So go ahead and if you need help with the VA, you go on va.gov, and the process is rather easy. It's really easy to get it going, but it's really good because you get a timestamp and a date going, and you can start on your claiming process. So again, reach out to the show, reach out to the VA office. They can help you out as well. But yeah, no more. You don't hold yourself. I guess keep yourself away from having these benefits added to you, and especially when it pertains to money that you could really use. Okay. So hey, look, this show is all about supporting the Constitution. I mean, I did defend it and I still do, over 21 years of service, along with many other of my show guests that have been on the show. So if you like what you hear, like, subscribe, and follow. Help me with the algorithms on my YouTube channel. I got over 7,500 followers on Facebook. If those people could just take 5 minutes and go like my YouTube channel, it would be greatly appreciated. Also, you can find me on TikTok and all other places. So in every climate place, as the Marine Corps hymn says. So hook me up and help a brother out. So hey, if you like what you hear and you support about, hey, you're all about the right to bear arms, freedom, all that good stuff. If we don't agree and you just like sometimes what I say, then that's fine too. Or perhaps check something out from Sitchradio.com, who are our gracious partners. And Brian Colburn has been an amazing individual. So if you think you get in the podcasting game, by all means do so, because I highly recommend it. I've been doing it for the last 3 years, and it's the best thing ever. All right, so I think that's it for today. This subject is some that I get quite a bit. I'm just getting my show notes ready, and this, again, by no means, obviously, because I do have some licenses in the finance industry and all that stuff. By no means, this is not financial advice whatsoever. Okay, so I do get that question quite a bit. When I'm dealing with folks that I'm assisting and everything. So, but it is because it is in its infancy stages. Cryptocurrencies are are very volatile, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can really lose your shirt really quick. So hopefully the reference information I will provide today, it'll be one that you can use at all. But please make sure you do your own research, just like I did, just like a lot of us. Every people that I talk to, I always start out with that. Hey, you got to do your own research and learn what you're getting into. I remember, and just to tip it off, and I think this would be really good at the beginning, because I remember, and this will lead to my next, I guess, part of this topic is, I remember when I first came into the Marine Corps, and in the early 90s. I mean, the internet was in its infancy stages. I mean, infancy stages to the whole point. I was part of that AOL, and you could hear the analog modem that go, making the weird queen, 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 all the weird sounds that and somebody picking up the phone, hey, hang up the line. And so I grew up in that time frame. And I remember in the Marine Corps, people were saying, again, staff NCOs, I guess you could say older than I was back then. Oh, this is not, this is just a fad. It's a new thing. It's kind of like a game console, so to speak, like Nintendo, all those things that, hey, this is not going to last. This is just another fad. Well, here we are. Geez, Louise, I came in 32 years ago now. And look, we can't walk around without having one of these in our hands. And it's powered by not powered by the internet, but everything that we use, we go on Google, we use it as a reference point. We use it for a lot of things. So cryptocurrency, if you can look it up, it's following the same curve of progression as it did, and it's tracking the same line as the internet. So why cryptocurrency? Well, it has been adopted by a lot of countries, that have for good or bad or indifferent, they, for many different reasons, they've adopted. Like, Venezuela had to start using it years ago. They started using Bitcoin because of the simple fact that their economy is just trash. Unfortunately, President Maduro has completely, and between him and Chavez, they completely just dismantled one of the strongest economy in Latin America, because Venezuela was the strongest economy in Latin America next to the U.S., because they control a lot of the oil that we use to this day comes from Venezuela. So yes, and the Saudi country as well, but one of the main products over there. So unfortunately, that government just trashed it. So people are literally using money paper as a form of basically burn trash or whatever else. So they had to resort to use Bitcoin. In Central America, I believe it's either El Salvador or Honduras, one of the two. Bitcoin became their form of currency, and the country is thriving. It's so much so that you can pay with Bitcoin, just about everything. Your phone, you can recharge your phone, all that stuff. So it was a huge gamble, but it actually paid off for that country just to stimulate their economy. Obviously, Argentina, Panama has been a global economy as well. A lot of people don't believe it, but yes, Panama has been a huge crucial point to the economy in Latin America. Why? Because it's a gateway country in the sense to the U.S. The Panama Canal is over there, so a lot of transactions happen through in that body of water and in that country, and which is a huge tax haven for expats, people traveling around the world. Offshore accounts. I mean, they have it over there. So of course, and I remember back in 2018, I had met an individual, a Panamanian guy, who he and I were co-workers. I don't want to mention his name because the guy, I mean, we didn't see eye to eye. Let's just put it that way. But they had Bitcoin ATMs back then. I remember traveling with my family in 2018, and we were in Spain, in Europe, and it was I saw a bunch of ATMs that were you can exchange Bitcoin for cash. So again, it has a lot of usage, and it's the next step as it pertains to for money. A lot of people don't. So the historical value of money is intrinsic value. Take this pen that I'm holding here, or this marker, for example, this highlighter. Anyways, so I give it its value. So in other words, this is worth 10 chickens. So in order for me exchange again, it's an exchange of two individuals. I give you this, they give me 10 chickens. That's the form of currency works. Now, some fiat currency is worth more than the others. Obviously, it depends on what country. Now, some of you here are gonna argue with me, well, because I made the comment to somebody else. We're talking about something somewhat similar. Like, well, it depends who you ask. Look, the dollar is freaking strong. I don't give a shit but it is strong. Now BRICS, that's another whole long conversation. However, if I go to Japan and I'm going to use this dollar, guess what? The dollar right now is super strong over there. So, that's why a lot of foreigners are going over there using the dollar, because you get more. In Colombia, where I was born and raised, I mean, you use the dollar, you're going to get more bang for your buck. So, and a lot of places, the dollar's strong. So, case in point, depending on where you're from, that currency is worth more. So, but it's just the next step. If you're making transactions from one place to another, it takes it. And I was watching a commercial on one of the cryptocurrencies that I'll talk about today, but it literally takes me. It is fast for me to take a bag of $10,000 from here to Los Angeles than it takes the banks to transact with one another. Ain't that crazy? In other words, I get on an airplane here from Florida, and in 5 hours I'm in LA, and that money is there, and I can deposit in the bank, and it's done deal. But it takes 3 business days for a bank to utilize your money. To recover your money. If you're depending on the amount, if it's more than $10,000 for sure, it's 3 to 7 business days, guaranteed. Why? Because banks don't keep money in their vaults. That is a misconception. They have a central depository where that money ends up going, but a lot of times that money gets loaned. It gets loaned between other members. Again, I do this in the industry. So they because this leads a lot to the government and the national reserves and that we have the United States has to maintain. I mean, it's a little bit waved out, but at the end of the day, banks have to maintain a certain reserve. Sometimes, because let's say a Bank of American branch is lagging on meeting that reserve requirement from the Federal Reserve, then they lend each other money back and forth. Now it's electronic, but at the end of the day, your money it's either being loaned to another bank, other members, other organizations, other individuals, and you just get 0.001% on that money. So it is understand that crypto is reshaping the financial world. It takes a lot, even though Bitcoin transactions do take long, 15, 20 minutes, depending on which platform you're using. It does take long, and there's other things called gas fee. Nonetheless, it does take long, still faster than a bank sending money to another bank as it applies to your fund. So it's reshaping the financial world. It has to. Money has to. Again, in this day and age, where we're discovering a lot of things, we need to, banks need to also catch up, and currency needs to it needs to catch up at the same time. So the things that you need to with crypto, there's a lot. I mean, there's thousands of them now. When I was getting in, again, I'm a very techie person. I like technology. I like to educate when I was reading about, and again, I was still behind the power curve because this has been around since 2012. And yes, there's a lot of negative connotation that, in the black market, in the dark web and blah, blah, blah. Everything, I'm sure anything and everything in history has some type of negative thing. And it also, somebody found an answer to it. And, what are you gonna do? I mean, you might change is still coming. So, you just can't be a hater forever in a day. You know what I'm saying? So, but things that you got to understand. So this is how you get into, if you're planning to get into this game, here's what one, the coin is got to have limited supply. It's not like these meme coins where they start out as a joke, but they've gotten somewhat legitimacy. Certain meme coins like Dogecoin that now has somewhat become legitimate or mainstream. Dogecoin, Mark Cuban accepts at the Mavericks games that you could pay with Dogecoin. Obviously, Elon Musk gave it a lot of legitimacy, but it started out in 2013 as a meme coin, as a joke of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and such. Those coins are very speculative, is what we say in it. Very, very, very risky and volatile. Risky in the sense that if you're not like a day trader or a crypto day trader, where you're glued to this computer and you're just cycling and buying one, dumping the other, buying low, selling high, all that good stuff, then you can really, so you want to make sure this has limited supply. Bitcoin has 21 million coins. It's capped at 21 millions. Other coins like Zcash are 21 million coins. So at some point, they're going to stop making it. It's just now sending coins or micro pieces of those coins between other people and others. So, and limitless demand. In other words, that the sky's the limit with doing that. And that it needs to solve a real world problem. What did Bitcoin resolve? Well, it decentralized and gave us privacy. In the past, when you're doing big transactions and that transaction had your name. Obviously, you go to a bank, you fill out, or would not. I remember filling out a withdrawal slip back in the day, where put my name, probably my ID number, something, and then they took that and withdrew money, and there I got my cash, right? Well, no longer does it that, because now your money is being held in the blockchain. And again, just do some. I'm kind of hitting some really big wave tops, but do your research. So now this money obviously is kind of, let's just say, electronically held somewhere. So now it's just binary. It's just ones and zeros. So your name is private. So you can now I can again private. I'm privatized, so to speak, and I don't have to deal with keeping my money at a bank where I'm not getting any gains whatsoever. So why can't I just keep it for myself? Ethereum, for example, that's another legitimate coin that's been around, and that one solved the problem in regards to contracts. So if I have a contract with that little Doraemon doll right behind me, where my contract is in exchange for money or Ethereum, he's supposed to make me happy and pull out from his pouch the door that goes all over the world, that kind of stuff. So Ethereum holds those individuals when you're doing a contract. It holds them accountable for that, and obviously they won't get paid until that contract is fulfilled. So those are some of the problems again that crypto limited supply, endless demand, and it's got to solve a problem. Okay, meme coins do not solve a problem. They're just people. Again, if you're gonna do it, you do it. You ride the wave of fear of FOMO or fear of missing out or whatever the case. You ride the wave of fame, and then when people start kind of like dumping it, you get out of it as well. Okay, so. Just be careful when you're investing in coins that have no purpose or value. So if you're going to get started, obviously you want diversity, you want to research. So it's kind of like doing investments as a whole. You don't just a lot of people love the S&P 500, which yes, it has been around for a long time. Again, this is not a recommendation, but a lot of people love it, and it's been a very stable and give really good returns over the last I don't know 30 plus years since inception, around 10.5%. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just saying you can look up this information online as well. So you want to diversify. Maybe you want some. It's like having mid capacity companies, or small caps, or any different type. It's like being diversified with your investments. I'm going to buy, some up and coming tech, international. I'm going to invest in international. Again, you want to diversify yourself. Same thing on these coins. You want to have, some of these, some Bitcoin. So again, no financial advice. You got to have, some Bitcoin, maybe some Ethereum for contracts. Again, every coin is got to have a purpose. Another one that I've seen a lot is Ripple, XRP, and a lot of good talk about it. There's a lot of countries that are building their again. You got to see the signs in the sky, on the sky. There's I've seen commercials about it, and it's still in its stages where people can still get in rather early, and if it goes up to what is being said that it can perform up to, then obviously those coins will be the ones to. That way you don't find yourself just like I talked about. Oh man, I remember when Bitcoin was at like 30 cents, and I didn't buy it. And here you are. It's almost it went over $107,000, and it's come back down, but nonetheless it's still here, right? So. Obviously research the coins, research the platforms, Kraken, Coinbase, Binance, those are good platforms. You want to, learn the language of what's a cold wallet and a hard wallet and a hot wallet. Well, a cold wallet will be something like a thumb drive, kind of like this thing right here. This is a nail clipper. I'm just using as an example. You can stick it on your computer, and you can extract those, and you can keep those cryptocurrencies on a ledger, on an e-wallet, electronic wallet, like basically a thumb drive. And that's how, now here's the caveat to that. You lose that thumb drive, you're assed out. Your money's gone. I mean, that again, when you say you own your money, you completely own your money. So you got to be careful with those things. So some other tools that you can use. A ledger. You can use. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. Again, I'm on the finance side. I look at things. So on my Instagram, there's another one. It looks like a little octagon or something like that. That's another form of a wallet that you can keep, because at the end of the day, a lot of these places have been getting hacked, and obviously you don't want to lose your monies. A lot of, the downside with dealing with exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, all those that are now FDIC insured. Again, cryptocurrencies are not SIC insured like regular securities are, because they are not securities. Okay, I want to make that clear. They have not passed what they call the Howey test. And the Howey test, you can look this up. It was a case in the 1940s where the Securities Exchange Commission filed a lawsuit against the Howey Orange Grove Company. So because of that, there's a 4-question test that a security has, in order to be considered a security, it has to pass. And that's been the whole deal with XRP, Ripple, these last couple of years. So again, just giving you a lot of information. I just wanted to stick obviously to my agenda here, but you want to make sure that whether you find out, hey, what's the purpose of a cold wallet, one of those thumb drives, or if it's good to keep in a Coinbase, in the market, because at the end of the day, if you try to liquidate $1 million, guess what? Coinbase ain't going to let you liquidate that much money all at once. If you don't believe me, talk to all the disgruntled people. Go online and you can find a bunch of articles. So again, if you're going to remove that money, move it in small increment. That's if I were to do. On the security side, don't never use or share your 24 word passphrase, because you use these as, if you ever get locked out of your account or whatever, one of these exchanges, they're going to ask for those. So make sure you write it, put it in a piece of paper, lock it in a place where you can remember, and have that stuff handy, because if you don't get that, you don't get your crypto, so you're asked out. Okay, and then just you want to learn how to obviously get savvy, how to send crypto from one wallet to another. It's the process is rather easy. It's not like back in the day, 5 years ago, where things were still in it. There weren't Coinbase. There was Kraken. There was some of these exchanges, but not like the way they exist now. So it was really hard to, when you send that money, you had to type this key with a bunch of numbers and letters and characters, and it was super long. And if you miss one digit, you could send your money to somebody else, and they were happy and you were pissed, and you couldn't get it back. So obviously you want to get savvy at how to use the exchanges, how to send money, from yourself to another individual, or, it's really easy nowadays, but you want to, you want to use the QR codes and those type of things that make it, and obviously, because you are getting, a lot of these exchanges are using words that we use in the securities industry, like buying low, sell high, dollar cost averaging, profits. They also talk about, margins and things like that. When you again, you need to be very, 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 savvy and knowledgeable if you're going to start doing opening margin accounts, in other words, where you're lending your crypto to that exchange, and you're using loans from them for you to bet on, basically, because you're kind of like betting, because they're not securities. So if you're going to buy other coins, and if they tank, when you're on a margin account, they're going to come after you. The ones that you it's called a hypothecation agreement. So basically, you're lending them your crypto. So if that one meme coin that you thought was going to be worth a lot, and you hypothecated $10,000, guess what? Them 10 grand are gone, and plus you're going to have to pay them their loss. Okay, so if you're getting into those realms, I highly caution you. You don't want to be in that area, because again, you better know your stuff. As a matter of fact, you better be a guest on this show talking for me, because you know what you're doing. Okay. So There's no, so you want to stay away from scams. Oh, hey, you get one Bitcoin, you send me a piece of Bitcoin, you get this back. There's a lot of stuff right now. I get stuff in my spam mail all the time, or text messages, or hey, join this crypto mining company. Excuse me, together. That it's like a mining pool. Um, yeah, I lost $500 on that. I'll be completely honest. I mean, shit. Um, but uh, the concept made sense. Unfortunately, the people that ran it, obviously not. But I just saw it as this is many years ago. So at that time, I saw it. Okay, you know what? Uh, it was a calculated risk. The gains could have been great, but it didn't work out that way. So I just saw it as $500. And back then, I had I had the cash. So just so be careful of scams, platforms, phishing attempts, fake platforms as well. Um, Absolutely nobody from Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, and any of those crypto.com, nobody's going to ask you for your passphrase via email or send you a link. Hey, log in here, please, blah, blah. None of them whatsoever. So if you get some type of email, hey, your account has been hacked, whatever, instead of following the hyperlink on that email, go to the market. Go to your app itself, open it, and see if you have any warnings or messages on your message little sign right there within that market. All of them have it. So if you don't see anything in there, your stuff is good. That's a phishing email. So just be careful with that. And obviously, it's important to secure your assets and being cognizant of it. So because you never know the market. Obviously, there's the cryptocurrency. Then there's what they call stable coins, which are pretty much similar to basically the dollar. So they $1 for one coin. I mean, that's it. So again, you want to learn how to convert coin. Let's say Bitcoin for the dollar coin. So, for example, you just convert it. That's dollar for dollar. So that's like having your money. A lot of exchanges will also give you a credit card that you can use, powered by one of your favorite tokens whatsoever. So, you basically want, at the end of the day, you want to really educate yourself because, again, you never know. I mean, very soon, I foresee us utilizing both monies, fiat currency, and as well as cryptocurrency. I foresee that. I mean, that is coming. And if I'm wrong, so be it. But I'm sticking to it right now. So if you're one of those, so a lot of people here, I foresee a lot of people making a lot of money in the next couple of years because this is a huge up and coming market. But I also see a lot of people going broke really quick. What do I mean by that? Well, at the end of the day, a lot of us, including myself, before I got into the finance industry, we weren't taught how to use money properly. We weren't. Let's maybe some of us were, but a lot of us were not. Me being Hispanic, the mindset that I got back then, money doesn't buy happiness. Money is the root of all evil. El dinero no compra la felicidad. All those. So I already had some negative thoughts as it relate to money because that's the way we're kind of we were brought up. A lot of us in our cultures were brought up that way, and we just weren't taught how to the value of money, how money works, and how to make it work. That's what I do for a living, helping people. So because of that, a lot of people are going to be really, they're going to make a lot of money, buy a lot of dumb stuff, and then go broke really, really quick. Because $1 million is not $1 million like it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. It just isn't. $1 million is, I mean, it's still a lot of money, but you could go through it really, really quick. I mean, you can blink and you can spend $1 million like that. So because of that, a lot of people are going to, do a lot of really dumb stuff that they don't know what to do with the money. So if I was one of those people that just struck gold and the crypto is just great, what I would do is obviously once I can make my money, whatever investment I did, and if it gets to, and if these coins are pumping the way that they're being speculated to pump to, well, once I already have a number in my head that I want, okay, I'm gonna cash out part of it right now, and then let the rest, again, that's house money. I've already made my money back, the rest. So I already have a figure. And what I would do with that money is one, convert it into a stable coin, leave it there, and then little by little, draw it back onto, into my bank account. And then from my bank account, I would invest that money into something that is going to give, utilizing the rule of 72. If you don't know what the rule of 72 is, you go to meet cheap plug. You go to meetthemoneypro.com where it says meet with me, and you can schedule a free 1 hour strategy session, and they will teach you what the rule of 72 is. Utilizing the rule of 72, which is a very simple concept. I would invest that money in securities. Again, diversified. I have crypto, I have securities, I'm all over the place. That's what I would do, and invest that money so that I'm well in the market, and then churn it and make it in a way where now that money is paying me dividends, and I can live off those dividends. So you can do that. That's if you're gonna get into a crypto game, that's what I would do. I would go to meetthemoneypro.com and get and just learn some new strategies and tips that could open your eyes to other things in investing, because this year is the year of investing. I have a lot of clients that say, oh, this year, or prospects, hey, get with me next year, I'll start investing. Look, there's a reason why people are broke, and the broke stay broke, and the rich get rich. The rich know how to leverage and how to use money, and understands the concepts of how money works, one of them being the rule of 72. But the poor, and even the middle class, the poor buy shit to impress and look rich. The middle class buy things to kind of maintain their status. You get promotion, they buy more shit. Okay. But the rich don't care about that because they know how money works and how to leverage it. So that's, the middle and lower class, that's what you need to learn, those concepts, and then you break yourself free. So break the cycle. Don't buy dumb stuff. Because you got to pay yourself first and invest first, not the other way around. A lot of people say, well, I'm going to pay off all my bills and then I'll start investing. You'll never do it. You'll never do it. I say that because I do this industry and I see it all the time. Unfortunately, we all learn too late, and that's when we all start saving, but it's never too late. So, but if you have any more questions about cryptocurrencies, one, I would highly recommend that you buy, I don't have it here with me right now, but the book is by James Altucher. By the way, this guy, James, this dude has been talking about Bitcoin and crypto since the beginning, and since it's this dude, they made, and he's appeared on Wall Street, he's appeared on all kinds of investments TV shows, and he still sings the same song and dance. Yeah, but he has an amazing book. It's called Cryptocurrencies 101. You can buy it on Amazon. Look, I don't even get. Man, I really should get an account where I promote all these books, but I don't get one dime of this dude. But that's a really good book. It's a couple of years old, but the basic information that he shares on there, man, it'll really give you a concept of what is cryptocurrency. So, I had just, check him out. You can find him on YouTube. You can find him talking about it. But that's kind of where I got my information, where I started, and I just started doing research and research myself. There's so much information out there, especially with, there's a lot of the last couple of months, there's been a lot of movement and talk on the crypto market. So do your own research. You can depend with a lot of influencers on Instagram, which I do follow. I'm not going to promote anybody on here, I'm just saying that do your research first. Get set, get educated on it. So that way, when you make a move, you go fully, fully understanding and with the knowledge that you're of what you're doing. Because a lot of times when a lot of people get into trouble, it's like, oh man, I tried that cryptocurrency, I tried this or that, is because they went at it blind, and that doesn't work out pretty good. I mean, it's good to, again, get all the information and get into it, because at the end of the day, a lot of people are gonna, some will make a lot of money, some are gonna lose a lot of money, and some are gonna make money and then end up broke again. I mean, that's just the name of the game. Question is, where do you fall in that equation? So, with that being said, everybody, hey, I think it's been a really good show. I've been meaning to do a show for quite a while. Tell me what your thoughts are. Are you, and leave them on the show notes. Are you invested into cryptocurrency? What is your favorite one? And just spew out, what does that coin do based on your own knowledge. Don't look up on the market. I mean, everybody can look it up, but just because, again, this is just a little challenge to see, how much you know, and then I'll interact with you as well. All right. So with that being said, everybody, I think we'll just go ahead and end it here. Don't forget to, again, make your New Year's resolutions and stick to them. I got them all written right here on my board. So I got to start, I got 365 days to make this shit happen. So, all right. So with that being said, everybody, Ice Tomas, Dice the Key. I'll talk to you later. And hey, I'll see you next week. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.